R. Roy in Tech. Introducing the serviceable innovative ideas.
Welcome back to our new video here. All thanks to our creator. My name still remains the same, Ridwan Ajimobi. So in this video, continuation of identification and uses of training materials. So in this video, we discussing about resistor or resistor. Firstly, the function of resistor. The main function of resistor is to limit the flow of current. Although in other cases, resistor can be used for a lot of things, but the main use of resistor is to limit the flow of electric current. If maybe if we go to I will be talking more about resistor in my other courses. That's the electronics automation. And that's one of my upcoming course later in the future, in this year, inshallah, God's willing. So I want us to talk briefly about resistor color code. Before that, the resistor we're using for this what's it called, for this modified rechargeable lamp is 4.7 ohms, 4.7 ohms and 1 watt. So why is it 4.7 ohms? That's the resistor suitable for the LED we talked about in our previous class. This LED is 4.7 ohms that will be suitable for it, and the function of this resistor is what? To protect our LED from high currents, and also that's the same meaning of limiting the flow of currents. The other function of this resistor is what? To reduce how the LED will be consuming the current from the battery attached to it. To limit how the LED will be consuming the battery, to be consuming the charges from the battery. So it's still going back to limiting the flow of current. So why are we using 1 watt? The common resistor, I don't know if you are conversant with the common resistor. That one is quarter watts. That's 1/4 of 1 watt. But this one is a bigger one, which is 1 watt. The reason why we're using 1 watt is because the power of this LED we are using is also 1 watt. So try and note that. So we'll be using 1 watt. So if you are to buy a resistor, so you can say 4.7 ohms 1 watt resistor. You see that it's bigger than the other one. There's also 2 watt and higher watts like that, but we'll be using just 1 watt. So I will let us quickly brush through the resistor color code, meaning that how are we going to determine the value of a resistor? So one of the ways of determining the value of resistor is knowing the color code. The other way is using your multimeter to measure each value of the resistor we want to use. So resistor has a color code. Each of the color code has a value. So we starting from black. Before that, you see on the top resistor color code, you see digit, you see multiplier, and you see tolerance. So the function of digit is that if you have to look at this sample here, we have how many color there? We have 1, 2, 3, 4. So this type of resistor is called 4-band resistor because it has only 4 color printed on it. So the first two band of a resistor, starting from the yellow part, so it usually called the digits, meaning that each each of the number you see here, you just write it as it is. So the next one is the multiplier, meaning that if you have a what's it called, a color at the third band of a 4-band resistor, so just say 10 raised power that number. For example, here it is gold, the third one is gold, so our code is 0.1, so multiply it by, you say 10 raised power is 0.1, and the tolerance is just to let you know that the value of the resistor may not be as it is being calculated, so that will be plus or minus the the value of the color percent. So that's how to measure the tolerance. So we'll be talking, the black is represents 0, the brown represents 1, the red represents 2, the orange 3, yellow 4, green 5, blue 6, purple 7, gray 8, white 9, gold is 0.1, silver is 0.01. So the D and M means that the black, D and M means that the black can be used as a digit and as a multiplier, while it can't be used as a tolerance. So from gold and silver, that's where you see M and T. So gold can only be used as a multiplier and can also be used as a tolerance, while silver does the same thing. So this means that if we want to calculate our resistor, you have to, if you see at one part of the, because you may be confused that where will I start my readings from. So we see one part of the resistor that has maybe gold and silver, that will tell you that that's the end part of the resistor. So you start from the other part where it will consist from black to white, either from black to white. So that's where, if you see any color from black to white, that's where you start your calculation from. So let's move to let's talk a little bit about a little calculation on it. So looking at this resistor code, you see the first one is red, the second one is red, the third one is brown, the fourth one is gold color. So the first digit, will write it as it. So you know, our looking here, our red is what, 2, so write 2 down. Our the next color is second digit, that's 2 again, so write 2 down. So the third one is what, brown, so you just say 10 raised to power 1, 10 raised to power 1, that will give us 1. Or you can just say the number of zeros it will be, so that's 1 0, just write 0. So if you are to use this kind of method, you just write the third band, it will represent the number of 0. And also, you know, in this I said that it's a multiplier, so that will be, so if you are to use the other method of multiplier, that will be 10 raised to power 1. That means that will be 22 times 10 raised to power 1. So 10 raised to power 1 is 10, so that's 22 times 10, that will give us 220 ohms. That will give us 220 ohms. I hope this is a bit clear. So that will be all for this class. Meet you in the next video. Bye for now.